Is our focus on Panorama today. I'm Ian Ree John. Thank you for joining us. The federal government is set to confront anyone instituting legal action to delay the takeoff of the Ajaokuta Steel Company. Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Advocacy, said this during an inspection of the facility in Kogi State. Mia Ogidi reports.
Welcome to the expected headquarters of Nigeria's industrialization, the Ajaokuta Steel Company. For 40 years, the company is sitting on these 24,000 acres of land in Kogi State, still keeping dreams alive of producing 1.3 million tons of steel per annum. This signature project, initiated by former President Shehu Shagari in 1979, is still a journey. And the footprints of the former Soviet Union, now Russia, are still stark reminders of technology at its best. So, when the invitation of Russia-Africa Summit was extended to Nigeria, expectations of Ajaokuta being part of the document in President Buhari's portfolio were high. Surely, expectations came to pass.
Mr. President discussed with President Putin on Ajaokuta Steel.
We have a firm promise, especially from the President of the Russian Federation, that Russia is willing to come in, and of course Ajaokuta will work before Mr. President completes this second term.
A firm promise for a firm takeoff, but there are firm legal battles. Legal issues over concession. But the man in charge of the steel ministry, who just had a check on the Ajaokuta steel plant, says federal government cannot be intimidated on this move.
The so-called modification concession agreement does not make sense. If you give the soul of Ajaokuta to place in another hand, and when Ajaokuta function, then we are looking at Ajaokuta and Ita will stay in government hands and will produce to the benefit of the people of Nigeria. No matter whose ox is God. They are preparing to go back to some courts abroad, whereas Nigeria. But I'm sure the country is capable of meeting them at those points and will not surrender our sovereignty to some individuals.
How this project will be financed?
The Russians will come in with funding from Afrexim Bank and Russian Export Center, and of course to complete Ajaokuta and make it functional.
Engines that are still alive at the Ajaokuta Steel Company are on test run, while workers keeping their tools serviced because the ray of hope is quite shining. Mia Ogidi, NT News.
Majority Leader in the House of Representatives, Alhassan Ogawa, leads an advocacy engagement with a group of educationists from the United Kingdom on the process that will enable students at the grassroots realize their potentials. The idea is for Nigeria to bridge the educational gap for numeracy knowledge, which is key to science and technical education. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Addressing issues affecting Nigeria's learning process, especially basic education, is the crux of the meeting. They include little concern to mathematics as a key subject and its phobia, proper attention to students who have talents but are not getting the required educational certificate, and provision of adequate educational materials to improve students' sense of reasoning.
We want a Nigeria that no one can say, I'm not employed. No.
I will be looking forward to more of this engagement in the future. It's a very good advocacy that I think parliamentarians will be interested about.
Meanwhile, the House Committee on Insurance at the Budget Defense seeks more explanation on the lack of confidence in the Nigerian insurance business.
We encourage members of the public that they should report any complaints, people who are unable to live up to their claims obligation.
We have now developed a database that is central and common to all insurance companies.
We can then tie our NIID to the CMR. Then there can be a central enforcement by the police.
We are not going to claim that we are a repository of knowledge when it comes to insurance, but we can hire all the machineries and
resources, both intellectual and material, to make sure we drive the process.
Suggestions by committee members are on the need to ensure proper administration of the insurance law and for Nigerians to be adequately covered as far as insurance process is concerned. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
And now talking security. Nigerian Army says its attention has been drawn to a video allegedly showing some Army personnel engaged in unethical torture and extrajudicial killing of a suspected Boko Haram terrorist. A statement by the acting director of Nigerian Army Public Relations, Colonel Sergei Musa, indicates that the Army condemned the alleged unprofessional conduct, stressing that the rules of engagement and standing operating procedures guiding the conduct of its operations are clear about human rights abuses and extrajudicial actions, including the rights of the arrested terrorist. Accordingly, the Nigerian Army has commenced investigation to apprehend the culprits with the aim to administering sanctions in accordance with the military justice system. Members of the public will be informed of the outcome of the findings and necessary disciplinary actions embarked. Moving on, the Air Task Force of Operation LAFIYA DOLE has destroyed an Islamic State of West African province ISWAP terrorist hideout and neutralized some of their fighters on the fringes of the Lake Chad and the northern part of Borno State. In a statement by NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Bunkole Daramola, this was accomplished through airstrikes conducted on the 1st and 2nd of November 2019, sequel to intelligence reports indicating that the terrorists were using the settlement as a staging area to launch attacks against forces. Accordingly, the Air Task Force scrambled fighter jets to attack the location, recording successful strikes to mobilize ISWAP vehicles spotted under some trees, as well as destruction of some terrorist structures and neutralization of some of their fighters. The Nigeria Police says it will sustain engagement with stakeholders to ensure democratic processes are followed in the forthcoming elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states. Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu Abubakar, who was in LAFIYA, shows Nigerians of the force commitment to the protection of lives and property. Abubakar Usman Kwanga reports.
IGP Adamu says the police will reinforce security to ensure transparency and credibility prevails during the polls. He says strategic security measures are in place across the country to contain the activities of notorious syndicates.
It is only in partnership that, as a people, we can defeat the criminality or criminally minded element in our midst who are bent on destabilizing our cherished peace, security, and communal values.
Governor Abdullahi Sule, Senator Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, Minister of State Science and Technology Mohammed Abdullahi, Emir of LAFIYA Sidi Bagi I, and other personalities challenged the IGP to do more for the nation.
The IGP is celebrated here at home, but he is more respected worldwide and globally, and this I know.
Anyone who calls himself from LAFIYA or Nasarawa State should be proud of the Inspector General of Police.
The IGP is recognized by LAFIYA community for hard work and selfless commitment since assumption of office in January 2019. In LAFIYA, Abubakar Usman Apanga, NTA News.
The Kogi State Police Commissioner Hakim Aramide Busari has warned those in possession of firearms to hand over them to the police or face the consequences. Commissioner Aramide was speaking following the arrest of a retired Assistant Commissioner of Police Suleiman Abutu and 6 others in the Kina local government area of the state. Christopher Ajibola reports.
The commissioner said the retired assistant commissioner was arrested following a tip-off which led to the discovery of guns and ammunition from the suspect in the Kina local government area of the state. While stressing that it has mapped out strategies to ensure a hitch-free election, he observed that it is only security operatives that are allowed by law to carry weapons.
They were suspected to be armed robbers stroke kidnappers. So that is why they were arrested. So they are still undergoing investigation and interrogation. So they have been handed over to SAS in the local jail.
He urged police politicians to play the game by the rules and avoid acts that will lead to breakdown of law and order, as a combined operatives of the police, army, and other paramilitary agencies are working assiduously to ensure a hitch-free polls. Items recovered from the arrested persons include pump-action guns, AK-47 rifles, and pistols. Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
And away from security issues now, as economies within the sub-Saharan region work towards harmonization of standards and promotion of trade within the region, Nigerian entrepreneurs are advocating flexible financial policies to enable them to compete favorably in the global market. This was the message to the government during the 2019 Expo in Abuja. Elizabeth Omori reports that the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, was represented by the Minister of State, Labour, Festus Keyamo, at the exhibition.
Mary Dassart and Chukwunonso Osakwe are among Nigerian entrepreneurs adding value to the economy. Their works are visible in diverse areas of the non-oil sector, specifically entertainment, ICT, fashion, hospitality, manufacturing and construction. Mary and Chukwunonso shared their experiences and motivation for the non-oil sector.
I'm an architect by profession, and then I'm in the business of interior design. And during the course of my business, when I take some very specific furniture designs to furniture makers to make it for me, they always tell me, madam, this thing, if you work. And I know it's possible to do it. So I started sitting down to construct these things myself.
The intention is to get Nigerians to believe in manufacturing locally, because we can't keep importing everything.
For Mary and Chukwunonso, the journey hasn't been a bed of roses. Both of them had to confront a common hurdle. Fortunately, these are challenges that Minister of State, Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, says can be addressed.
Looking at increasing the funds available to the Bank of Industry to make funds available to the MSMEs. The federal government is already talking to some commercial banks to make small loans available as single digits.
The next steps would be is to make it easier for them to export and make it easier for them to repatriate their funds. One other thing that I've seen, with the exhibition, it's they will also need a lot of communication strategies for Nigerians to be aware that these products are there, so they do not have to go outside the country to import.
The recent ranking of Nigeria on the World Bank's 2020 Business Index provides a good platform for Chukwunonso, Mary and others like them to be hopeful that someday micro, small and medium enterprises will get the desired attention and recognition. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
If you just joined us, this is Panorama live on the network services of the NTA. Time to take a breather. Panorama continues in a bit. We do sincerely apologize. The break will come much later. Now, the Federal Road Safety Corps has reacted to a number plate which was issued with a wrong spelling, chip whip, which has gone viral instead of the correct spelling, chief whip, to the Kano State House of Assembly. In a statement by the Corps Public Education Officer, Bisi Kazim, the Corps denied issuance of such number plate, stating that it did not originate from any of the FRSA number plate production centers. The statement calls on members of the public to immediately report any act of illegality against all FRSA security documents, while assuring of the competence and the diligence of the Corps in carrying out all its assignments. And joining me now in the studio is the FRSC FCT Sector Commander, Wubin Ayuba Gura. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, we shall begin, by asking how the role of the FRSC in the production of number plates.
Yeah. The production of number plates in the Federation is handled in the hands of the FRSC. What we do is we do the production. The sales of these number plates is done by the states, boards of internal revenue. So if the state places an order, then needs also number plates. We produce these number plates and then we send to them. And then they sell to the public. So we are not involved in the sales of the number plates, but we produce and then we give it out to the states to sell. That's our role in the number plate production.
Okay, so apart from that production, the sales done by the state, is it by FRSC in the states or other agencies?
It's done by the Board of Internal Revenue.
Okay.
But the FRSC has a desk officer to any number plate that is sold out by the Board of Internal Revenue. Then this number, the information is now given to our desk officer to enter into our data bank.
Okay.
So any plate number seen anywhere at all can be traced. Who is the owner of that plate number? Of course, the template for getting this information is already there. So all we need to do is, when we now get this information into our data bank, just picking the number plate alone, we can trace who is the owner of that number plate, his telephone number, information about him, where he stays, everything about him, we can trace it there. So that's basically what we do. So we have a desk officer at the various boards of internal revenues.
Okay.
Who put these documents in order.
Okay, so what's the procedure if, for example, I want to obtain a number plate?
Yes, if you want to obtain a number plate, simply go to the Board of Internal Revenue.
Okay.
In the case of FCT, the Board of Internal Revenue has not actually been put in place to start work. So you see, the vehicle inspection officers in the FCT are the ones who are doubling as people who collect taxes in that regard. You know, so, but in other states, you go to the Board of Internal Revenue, you want to get a number plate. Of course, the documents that you use in purchasing that particular vehicle, you will have to get a photocopy, hand it over to them. And of course, in any case, the vehicle must also be there because there will be that tendency that they will ask the vehicle to inspect the vehicle. If it is roadworthy to be on the general routes, then it can be registered. So the registration of this number plate is done by the Board of Internal Revenue. So once it is given out, and before it is even given out to you, it must have passed through processes where you go to the bank to effect payment of whatever money it costs. I know in the various boards of internal revenues, what they do is, apart from the number plate itself, there are other things they charge, like the vehicle license, roadworthiness of that vehicle. If it is a commercial vehicle, perhaps they also charge Hackney permit. So these are things that are for the Board of Internal Revenue to decide.
Okay.
Our own is to do production and then give it to them to do the sales.
So we've established something. The FRSC produces. Now let's go to this controversial number plate.
Yeah.
Chip, whip. The FRSC has denied that they're not a part of the production of that number plate.
Yes.
The Kano State lawmaker has also come out to say he knows nothing about it. So does it mean that we have illegal number plates being produced?
Now let me say this. I am not a very good person in computer, but I know that there are quite a number of people that are very good in the computer. If they want to rubbish anybody at all, they can rubbish you by doing what they call coral draw. I am not too good in the operation of computer, but people can just bring out anything to rubbish a system. But at the same time, if that plate number is actually real and was seen by those who captured it, made it viral in the social media, then of course, I think whoever is driving that vehicle should be able to tell the whole world where he got the number plate from, because that number plate did not emanate or was not produced in our own plant. We have 3 plants in the Federation. We have one in Lagos, one in Abuja, and one in Oka. That's Anambra State. So these are the 3 plants that we have that we do.
And you're certain that that number plate did not come out from any of these plants?
I'm telling you, see, like I told you earlier on, mention any number plates that you have in your own vehicle. Even if you bought that number plate in Bayelsa, the information, we can get the information here in Abuja.
So that leads me to this question. Does it mean now, my question actually is, does it mean that people are beginning to produce number plates outside the FRSC?
Well, I will not be able to say.
Have you found any other one apart from this one that is,
let me say this. To some extent, I know that there were some arrests that were made in this FCT.
Okay.
Sometimes either 2017 or early 2018, of people who were in possession of certain number plates that are not produced by road safety. They were arrested by the police.
Okay, fine. It means you agree now that your people are producing fake number plates. What is the FRC doing, to bring the culprits?
Like I told you, you see, we do patrols, and to any number plate that we suspect, we flag the person down. This number plate, you can easily even check it using our handset. All you need to do is you text verify number plate or verify plate number.
Okay.
The number is O, not NUMBER. And then you leave a space. Then you put that particular plate number. And then you send to 33324. If that number plate was produced or is produced by the FRC, it will tell you this number plate is produced by the FRC and allocated to, if it is a Corolla, it will tell you a Corolla vehicle.
So what if it's...
Let me finish.
Okay.
So that you get where I'm going.
Okay.
So that you get where I'm going. So if eventually there's nothing like that, then of course we will not allow that vehicle to go to anywhere.
Okay.
We'll get him arrested. To some extent, we hand them over to the police or we hand it over to the SSS for further interrogation.
Okay.
So that we can know where... Remember sometimes in 2013, 2012, even up to part of 2014, there were these people who were producing fake driver's license in Nigeria.
Okay.
And incidentally, that time, I was in the FCT as the head of operations. So we did massive enforcement on that. Today, it's a success story.
So I'm sure number plates too, you would have a success story.
By the grace of God, we will continue to arrest people who suspect to be carrying number plates that are fake.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, the FCT Sector Commander, Wobin Ayuba Gora. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll hope that we find those responsible for the chip whip number plates.
Well, by the grace of God.
All right, now time to take a break. The news returns shortly.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Glad to have you back. Now time to talk sports, and Amanzi Marcus will feed us.